Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'll share my screen.
I'm waiting for you to take picture.
Are you all able to hear Mataji? Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Okay, there's His Holiness. Leadership problems from immature patience and tolerance. So seemingly patient or wanting others to think they are patient. Can you identify with that? Yeah, some of you can, yeah. Actually, they are apathetic. That's what it is, lack of interest, lack of concern. They will react in an impatient way to the failings of others. That's your fault, get out from here, you don't know what you're doing, I told you what to do, right? Do you want to give some examples? No, it's okay. There's another issue. If you are not taking care of yourself properly, you tend to procrastinate. When you need to do something now, you don't act. And I've seen this a lot. We need a meeting to fix this problem. Well, let me think about it. I have something else to do. Maybe they just don't want to come and do it. They have too many things in their mind, so they tend to procrastinate. Yeah. To do so properly requires the constant awareness of being a servant to others. That's one of the important things. So therefore, Maharaj says, he highlights, one should be dasa anudas principle. Gopir Bharta Pada Kamalayo, dasa dasa anudas. So we are supposed to be servant of the servant of the servant. So as leaders, we are thinking they should serve me. But actually, leaders means you do more service actually. And in serving a person, you actually break their barriers of, they build a barrier, a wall of resistance to becoming a loving devotee. So when you do the due thing, activities properly, you break those walls, and then they realize they want that. And then their hearts open up and a flood of emotions come through. Nice ones. Not fisticuffs. Yeah, avoidance and insensitivity. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to know, right? Oh, what are you talking about? This is a problem? No, I don't want to know. I got other things to do. Yeah. This is not good for a leader. Particularly devotees, right? We are supposed to be personal. So we get together, we want to help one another, personal. You can't avoid. Who avoids? Impersonalists, no? They avoid all this thing. I don't like this. Raga, bhaya, krodha, vitaraga, bhaya, krodha. So eventually they say, there's no form, God, I don't want to. Yeah, the devotee shouldn't think like that. We are in a personable movement. We should try to help one another. Although someone can tolerate one another out of sense of duty or maybe magnanimity, the underlying attitude in such a situation is one of intolerance. They are avoiding it, that's what it is. Why? Because they consider the other person as a nuisance. Yeah, when we have that kind of idea, then it's very hard to help anyone, let alone ourselves. Or we think their opinion has no value. And the problem is, we have a high opinion of ourselves. That's the problem. Now, sometimes people or devotees make mistakes because they have shortcomings also. So we make mistakes, right? So then we don't understand whether it's done purposefully or not, or done out of weakness. So as a leader, when your kid or someone does some mistake, do you think immediately this person is doing it purposely? You evaluate things properly first. Yeah. Yeah. So devotee means he's very careful and he's not judgmental. He's not judging. He's not trying to judge them based on his standards or not. Right? You can see the same things happen in our life as adults. And we may take offense that others, that they themselves don't realize that they are making a mistake sometimes. Right? Sometimes people don't know they are making mistake. For example, let's say in your pujari room, they hang the towel in one place, then you are new and they didn't tell you where to hang, you hang it another place. Then the next pujari comes here and says, womp, 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 right? They get angry and they make a lot of accusations, right? They do that, right? Yeah. And then you're thinking, what? I didn't do that. And so the new person doesn't know that my action is upsetting someone else. Yeah. So as a leader, we should be able to understand that sometimes innocent mistakes can happen and some education can correct those things, right? And that's why it's good to have, education. Sometimes it may appear to be purposeful. You tell the person and they forgot. And then they did the same mistake. And then you come down like the, angry Yamaraj with his trident, you want to stab them. You want to be the judge, the executor, like that. So it's very important to become sensitive to these things. It's very important for us. So that will help us to forbear such difficulties that we see. Small offenses, we shouldn't take it too personally, seriously also, yeah. I was told that in the early days, devotees will have differences and they argue. So Prabhupada would say, there's a tendency to say he's offensive to me. So Prabhupada would say, it's okay, come for Mangala Arati, after Tulasi Puja, you pay obeisances, right? And then that's it, enough. Yeah. So that's another reason why you all should come for Mangala Arati. So you can say, I have paid my obeisances. So I'm clean for another day. My slate is clean. Yeah. Okay, overcoming the problems, you have to understand the role of each individual, what they are doing, how they are doing, and for what purpose. Understand it clearly, how they are doing these services and so on. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Dasa Anudasa principle, always bear in mind, you are actually a servant also. When we take on a leadership role, we forget that we are also still servants, right? When we take on the leadership role, we even push away Krishna and take his role. We think we are equal to Krishna. No, Krishna has given us the empowerment, and so we are still his servant. We are servant of Prabhupada, we are servant of our gurus, we are servant of everyone actually. Understand the devotees' problems properly, understand their needs, understand their goals. Right? Before you give some service assignment, you should go through the service, walk through the service and say why we need you to do this service, what will you achieve, what you can get out of it. So they can get a good picture. Generally we do firefighting management. Oh, there's nobody in the altar. Who's there? You, go up there. Right? I mean, it sounds harsh, but actually they go around asking 10 million people, nobody wants to do it. And then finally somebody will say, I'll do it. And then they'll go, and then they don't know what to do sometimes, yeah. They don't understand the needs, they don't understand the goal, and they make mistake. And then someone else will come and say, hey, he did the puja this way, I didn't like it. What kind of temple you're running? Right. So all this stems from intolerance, stems from not being patient enough to understand there may be something behind that situation, not able to recognize this. Mainly we have to become Mahatmas. Mahatmas means broad-minded. Otherwise you are Duratma, you only very narrow view of what's happening in the temple situation. We don't know what is right, what is good, what is beneficial. Best is to be strict with yourself, right? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, right? And Prabhupada also says, be strict with yourself, be lenient with others. Yeah. But we all like to be Prabhupada. We want to chastise people. So if you act incorrectly, which is the previous verse, then Maharaj says this, to behave in this way is to deny another's individuality and humanity and to minimize that person's contributions. Therefore, instead of thinking I will tolerate this situation, it might be more helpful to think I will try to understand this situation and respond appropriately without overreacting or minimizing its significance. It's a very valuable instruction. It opens a different way of looking at things. Okay, we'll continue. Now, what happens if you meet people who are envious? Whenever you experience envious people around you, this is a tough one. You need to digest this. You can try to uplift them by projecting loving, selfless, and caring thoughts. The question is, can you do it? Okay, maybe not, but is it doable? Yeah? Yes? Yes. Some of you say yes, yeah. It's doable, yeah. how to do it is the question. So recognizing it's doable is important. Then you know it's possible. Yeah. But if you at the outset you look at it and say, no way, then it's not going to work. This is an individual evaluation for each of you. You need to ask this question. Right? I can't crack open your head and look inside. Or your own spiritual master, he probably may know, but the point is they may not want to interfere in your growth. Now generally envious people think and act like as if they can talk behind you, your back, and that will decrease your Krishna consciousness or will decrease your Guru's mercy on you. So that's what they're thinking, But meanwhile, if they are very observant, they will see both Krishna or Guru will continue to bless you in their faces. Yeah, so sometimes you see that, if you are very observant, you think this person is no good, that person is no good, but then you see they are getting so much mercy from the Guru, then time to re-evaluate the way you are thinking. You have to drop the idea from your mind and say, but I've seen this person do this. Forget it. You're not here to judge them. There's something wrong with you. That's why you're not getting the mercy of your Guru and they are getting it. Yeah. Jai Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki Jai Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai Gaur Nitai ki Jai. Caring and loving others increases our patience and tolerance. It's a fact, when you care for people, you become patient with them. You want to take care of them, you want to help them. So you hold back your anxieties, you hold back your frustrations and so on. Yeah. Right? Which is why it's good to preach, good to have bhakti pots, right? So that you encourage people in your pot. Yeah, but don't burn the pot. I don't know if that's what pod is, or is it P-O-D? Pod, okay. Yeah. Okay, now understanding the importance of patience. Now, patience is fundamental for fostering empathy and trust. It's fundamental. You need to have that. It helps navigate conflicts if you have patience, and it builds stronger emotional connections. It will build stronger emotional connections, and also your relationship will be long-lasting. A true relationship is based on love and trust. Yeah. Now, patience enables devotees to listen and understand each other's perspective. That means what it is trying to say here is a patient devotee is an effective communicator. Okay? That's what a patient devotee is. He will allow their needs, their desires, their concerns to be expressed openly when he is dealing with them. Okay? And when you're patient, then the discussion is very constructive, because you are not judging, you are listening, and you are allowing them a safe space to open up. Okay. And therefore things are constructive. And because they can open up, there's less chances of misunderstandings. Thank you. Yeah. less chances of misunderstandings, and therefore no more conflicts or less conflicts. Yeah. And then you'll find devotees will be more willing to open up if they know there's no judgment, no punishment. So, because they are fearful. Mostly we don't open up because we are fearful. Yeah. So therefore this openness is very critical or crucial for resolving conflicts also. But it stems from patience. It allows time for emotions to settle, leading to more reasoned discussions. So it builds trust and understanding, meaning it fosters trust and a sense of validation. When you talk to someone and they feel that you're listening to them, and then they feel, "Oh, this is good. I'm being heard. They are listening to me. I'm being understood." Yeah, like that. And so this leads to a more supportive and empathetic partnership. The next point is this will also prevent small disagreements from escalating into major conflicts. Right? Remember the Pakora incident? Yeah. So, yeah. So healthy relationships, it creates safe environment. Um, yeah.
Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Very nice lecture. So by Radhakrishna Prabhu. Anyone would like to say anything? Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's actually an excellent lecture. Each and everything what Prabhu, Radha Krishna Prabhu is saying is so beautiful. I liked two things very much. One thing when he said that leaders, they should be more, actually service should be more from the leader's side, which actually reduces the resistance and allows the heart of the others to open up. That thing was very nice. And also when he said that as far as oneself is concerned, we should be strict to oneself and more lenient to others. So that was also very nice. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Matu. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. On this point, one question I have, like, strict to one own self but lean with others. But things sometimes don't work when, that if you become lenient with others, but it's impacting you, or let's say it's impacting me, then it's a problem, right? Okay, let's say children, they, little lax when they're getting up early in the morning and going to school, etc. And let's say, for example, the father also has to go to the office same time. He has to take a child along with him. So the father is strict with himself, but child is taking his own time. So how to address that part? Like, I'm strict with myself, but if I become lenient with the child, then it's impacting me. I'll be also late for my office. Just an example, but something happens more when you're with the spouse or team members or family members. How do we take care of that part is something I want to know. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone would like to answer Dilal Prabhu's question? Okay, so,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, your voice is not much audible, Prabhu.
okay, is it for everyone or?
No, Prabhu. Is
Yes, it is very less, Prabhu.
What about now, Mataji?
now better.
I am
Yes,
closer to
Prabhu.
the mic. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone would like to? Sudhi Rai Prabhu. Correct.
I had points to share, not to answer this question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu. In the meantime, others will think through.
Yeah. So I could resonate well with those slides about understanding the importance of patience. So how it can develop, build good relationships, and also uh, it encourages for others to open up. And those points I like, Prabhuji. I could resonate well because I've experienced that personally also. So it gives me confidence that yes, there are very good benefits of being patient. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else? Kumar Mataji would like to answer Dilal Prabhu's question. Or you have
Because
anything?
I'm trying to process his question.
Yeah.
What I understood from Radhakrishna Prabhu's way of putting it was that when we say that we should be lenient with others but not with oneself. See, if we are very lenient with our own faults, I lose my temper today or I'm impatient. So then I should be the first person to correct myself. If I'm too lenient with myself, that means I'm accepting my faults and I will not be making much progress, isn't it? But lenient with others, he also put it in the first slide that whether they did that fault out of their weakness or out of it is purposefully it was done. So the child doesn't get up because of many reasons, because we did not put them to sleep in the maybe out of weakness. Yes, he requires his bodily needs are more than ours. To make him get up is a problem, but then if we can avoid the situation by being understanding and making them sleep earlier and telling them, yes, it is going to be difficult for me every day if you get up like that. So trying to understand them will also make them more cooperative. That was one thing. Distinguishing whether it is out of weakness they are doing it or purposefully they are doing it. That is the thing, being lenient with others. But at the same time, if we are too lenient with ourselves, then where do we progress? If we accept, yes, I will not get up for Mangala Aarti, I'm so tired, then when will we ever? We are adults and we need to set an example. So sometimes we have to be strict with ourselves. Something like Amanina Manadena, that sort of a principle. That's what I understood, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Dilal Prabhu, are you satisfied?
Yes, Prabhu. This helps. Thank you.
Okay, any other things to share from anybody? Vinodri Mataji, do you want to share anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat. Regarding Dhir Lalit Prabhu's question, I feel what Prabhu hinted was in the context of fault finding, that we often try to find faults with others, as what Kumarika Mataji was also saying, very similar lines. So we try to find faults with others, but not with ourselves. We might be doing the same thing, but when it comes to others, we tend to be very strict in catching it. But when we ourselves are doing it, we tend to be very lenient. It doesn't mean that we should not be strict with our children. Definitely, we should be strict with our children at points when it is needed. And then there is also an open communication needed, as you said, Dear Lalit Prabhu, between spouse or peers or colleagues. We cannot be lenient towards them, and it's impacting you. Then there has to be an open communication, is what Prabhu was saying. That is what I get it, Prabhu. The Prabhu's classes are very much nice to hear, but when it comes to application, we don't know how much will it be possible for us to apply. I think we all have to put effort in putting it to, or at least I should say for myself, not for others, but putting it in practice is what I should be looking for. I'm not just theoretically hearing it and just letting it evaporate. That's it from my side, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Done.
Um, Prabhu, there was one line that we all are trying to become the Prabhupada. That means actually we read his books, we try to follow his instructions, but we really forget completely about the stark difference between his level and our level. So we actually can't do what he was doing or what he has done. So I mean, before also sometimes this is this is my observation also sometimes, that we being in the best path, that's what I feel. It's like what Prabhupada has given, that is the best path and the best process we can follow. But some are really very elevated, but many have not. Many are struggling. Many are actually trying. But the if I talk about myself, I am trying to improve myself. But if I try to do what Prabhupada has said, the way he has criticized others, the way he has chastised others, it is going to create negative feeling and negative sentiments and emotions in everyone else around me. It is not going to help anybody. And that's what um, I mean that is what, when people say that the devotees are more, they are judging others, they are kind of trying to put everyone in the right path when they themselves are not. So this point, that we are trying to become or trying to imitate Prabhupada, it's a really very important point. We can't do that. And this judging others is something I have seen it. In fact, once Yugal Kushal Prabhu also was giving one example, that one lady whose father passed away, and she went to temple, and somebody said that your father has died, others will also die, and she never turned back towards temple. So so it is like having the confidence of, I am in the best school, I have the best teachers around me to teach me, but I haven't become best. I am still at the very lower level and I have to learn it. If that thing comes, then probably in some other school, which is not a good school, but someone can be actually higher than me. But the proud of that I am in the best school and I have the best teachers, it it gives us license, or it gives us the um, like birthright to criticize others. And that is what I feel is, we shouldn't try to become the Prabhupada. That's what I want to say, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, you are right. So we should not become Prabhupada, not imitate Prabhupada, but we have to follow Prabhupada teachings, whatever he said. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? Yes, Kumari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, regarding Prabhupada's chastisement, he knew exactly whom to chastise and whom not to. There are so many things written, so many instances where he has been extremely patient with new devotees. Only his very intimate disciples, he used to chastise them because he knew that they could take it. One disciple actually was very much chastised, but he brought his fiancée to the girl to whom he was engaged. But Prabhupada was a completely different person to her, fashion model or somebody. So, but first time she was coming, but the way he spoke to that disciple and her was entirely different. So he was not a person who mishandled or chastised inappropriately. That is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, Mataji. I mean, his chastising is like the parents do for kids, and parents do everything to towards the kids, and they have the inner feeling and the guts what I have to do with them. But we are not there. So that was my point, that we should not try to imitate what he could do or what he had done.
Mm. He had that sensitivity also.
Right, right.
Who
He
can,
had that sensitivity, but we don't have. We don't know what is going on with others. He could knew it. He could sense it.
yeah, he was a great judge of characters. Just by looking at a person one person came to him and he was Prabhupada in his own way was trying to preach to him. Then after a few minutes, he said, I think you are interested more in on my watch than what I'm saying. You can take this watch. He just took out that Rolex watch. Actually, that person who had come was a thief. And he actually was attracted to the Rolex watch more than what Prabhupada was telling. He didn't enter. But then he realized that saintliness. Immediately he fell down and paid his obeisances and he became a devotee also. Prabhupada could impact people like that. He was a pure devotee. For us to compare ourselves to him, yes, it's very foolhardiness, as you say, Mataji.
Thank you. Very valuable points. Rajesh Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat. Nice discussion. Thank you for all valuable points. So it's very nice when I'm just started hearing this today's part. So Prabhu started with the leadership of tolerance and patience. So some might think, okay, I'm not a leader, and yeah, maybe this is for the leaders, or in some time I may become a leader and I will take up this. But just the first thought is we are all leaders in very minute way. Being a parent is a leader. Being whatever roles we are doing in this world has we have to follow all this, or we have to cultivate all these qualities of tolerance and patience. And one thing is, Prabhu was emphasizing on, if we are a parent, we know very well about our children. You can apply each and every point what he spoke. Like if we are trying to be outwardly patient, but if we are judgmental, children will know very easily that no, what we are thinking of. And if we try to avoid them, and Prabhu made this very nice point, avoidance is impersonalist's philosophy. So no one likes avoiding people. Like if you are silent, if you are not talking to devotees, or if you are avoiding them, it is the behavior of impersonalities. Was just trying to contemplate on that. Yes, that is true. Impersonalist will not believe in God and will not believe in relationships with devotees. Whereas we are theists and personalists, our main goal in reaching Krishna is with devotees. And we need all these relationships to move forward in our life. So that's very nice, I felt. And the other point is about patience. When Prabhu was saying, when you are patient, the discussions between the devotees is very constructive and there won't be much conflicts. And he made one point that there won't be any judgments and no fears. Most of the discussion in devotees stop at a level. I mean, some discussions happen at some levels uh, out of fear. Uh, just remembering Krishna, we always say that Krishna is fearless person, and he gives fearlessness to the devotees. So, if we are through our actions or through our words, if we are making others to feel fearful about some discussions or some in our relationship, then we are not practicing or we are not following Krishna. I felt that the fear and not fearfulness. Yeah, that I really liked, bro. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? Or actually, I would like to convey one thing. I have an appreciation for Maharaj regarding the enviousness. I heard from many devotees that I will give an example. I think in Chicago, when Maharaj was giving after the class, somebody reached out to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, when you give class, very less number of people are there. But when Radhanath Maharaj comes to this temple, hall is fully packed with the devotees and other invitees and everyone. So, what would be the reason? What would you like to, say? So then Maharaj says happily, that is very nice. Maharaj is able to attract so many people. That's very nice. He was very happy to say that. So he is not concerned about name and fame, or I'm not saying about Radhanath Maharaj. Radhanath Maharaj is very well, I mean, uh, saintly devotee. But from Maharaj's perspective, he is not concerned about all those things. He is very happy that Maharaj was able to attract so many people. So that shows his non-enviousness. So, thank you. Anyone else? Mataji's, Prabhuji's? Was it audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. We'll stop here, Mataji. We'll stop here. Thank you all very much. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।